How's everybody doing? I hope you're enjoying this Sunday. I have a couple of announcements to make, but I won't do it now. YouTube is not monetizing me. They stopped monetizing me. And it is because I got the download today. It is because I'm discussing things that I guess certain gods don't want you to know just yet. They're leaving it up to me to decide. And when it comes to talking about occult knowledge, I will always decide to put it in the air. So the series on Saturn, which I did Aries, I did Taurus, but it didn't upload. So I'm going to do the rest of the series in Patreon. You guys can pay $25, watch it, and watch all the other videos that are there. I think you'll enjoy it. It's $25 a month. When you feel that you don't have to, you can unsubscribe. Your uncle is not going to get upset. No, but I have to do it this way because YouTube is, they're getting aggressive. So I'm hitting something here that they don't want me to talk about. So they're sanctioning my monies in hopes of stopping me and having me change my mind. I don't make all my income from YouTube. No, I came very financially sovereign before YouTube. That's what they don't understand. They think that I need them. I don't need them. Not that way. What I do need from them is to provide a platform for me to deliver these videos. Unbiased, I have any opinion about it. But that's not YouTube. They do have an opinion, and they are biased, and they are working with other networks higher than what we even know. They don't want this information out. And you know what I said? You wanna know what I said? Fuck you. I'm gonna do what I was put here to do. So please donate. It's the only way that we can be sustained until we uncover how to go about this another way. So please support the channel like you've always had been doing, but I gotta say it. Okay. All right. I feel like Batman or something, but I had to do something because it's so cold. No! There's a cold spell falling in Nevada, where and which is not it's a little far from Arizona, but it's approaching the Midwestern states. So no, I am not going to go to Arizona if they're having a cold spell because I don't like the cold. What I'm going to do is, if time and money permit, I will go on vacation to Florida, Fort Lauderdale, and just bask in the Florida sun and warm waters. And that's what I used to do when I met you guys. You saw me going all over. And yes, I do miss that. So I decided not to miss it anymore. I'm just going to go book and go. Kick and go. Kick and go. Okay. The head says collective readings, right? Relationships and your shadow. This is not a collective reading. It's an occult reading. I just put that there on purpose so that they don't take it down. So this is not a collective reading. And if it is, it's based upon what I was put here to tell you. And the collective readings don't always have to be negative. And they don't always have to be some intrigue going on, But what's keeping the collective read very, very active and repetitive. It's because of the fact that we are still, for the most part, dealing with our shadow. If you understand the concept of the shadow, I don't think we will be having this drama that we are having, that we are facing. Okay? And this was a heavy read. And they want me to use the Egyptian, right? The Egyptian divination, which can be very frightening to people. Please donate. Please give. 281-690-8825 or join my Patreon page to see the rest of the series. And then when you see them all, you can unsubscribe, and that way you don't have a bill to pay every month with your card or bank card. You know, your uncle understands. So, what is the shadow that you have to work with? It's collective because it's for the entire collective, but information might come through that is going to be speaking about a particular person. So be prepared for that. Who's here? Oh, don't make me get up to get the glasses. I'm going to have to get the damn glasses. Now, you see what I mean, guys? I had those glasses right there. It's in the bed. Look. Where are they supposed to be in that table? I checked the bed. My room is very simple, at least for now, until I'm able to get a home, a real home. But this is what I deal with, or they do it, whether I live in a palace or I live in a room somewhere. Okay. They don't want me to cover myself. But I'm forced to read without my glasses, which makes it very difficult. But they do the trickster. He loves to do that. Yes, I'm talking about you. Yes. I'm telling you, he's Gazoo from the Flintstones. And that shit is real, by the way. It's real. Real. Yes, I am changing right before you guys. You've known me for years, and you've seen me move from one state of being to another. That's what trials and tribulations do to you. There's a reason why they happen, and they happen with such severity and intensity. But we can share further. It sucks that it has to be that way. But even that has purpose. Okay, now the announcement. Now let me explain the shadow. Every sign in the zodiac has its own shadow to work with, to deal with. The ego and the lower parts of ourselves deal with shadows that are created by childhood, by trauma, tragedy. You know, that adds to the shadow, but the template of the actual shadow is not something that you can control or say that you don't want. This is the sign itself, and you know everything has a polarity. As above, so below. Oh, they want to talk. Okay. Let me drink my little water. I am taking vitamins, flaxseed oil. Many of you recommended that. I got the multi-omega-3 fatty acids to add that, bubbly, that luster, because I look so, because I lost a lot of my teeth. And that changes the contours of my face. It's no longer round or oval, but it's not going like this because of what's happening with my tooth situation. But the gods are doing this on purpose. They're molding me, shaping me for something that I'm going to be doing in the future. This happens with everybody. But because I'm a public figure and a high priest, the demands for people like me become much greater, much more demanding, with awesome responsibility. I got my vitamin C, the chewables, and I have something else. So I'm taking care of myself. Many of you showed concern. I do bother myself to get up and doll myself up. It wasn't a burden before. I enjoyed it. And I had all kinds of outfits on, and my hair was done on time, and it was done good, so I still need to work on that. But that's because my priority, which is about having fun, doing these videos, I don't charge. In those 8 years, I've never charged a penny because I enjoy what I do. And I don't need their money. I already have my own money, which I'm going to get back from the inheritance that they took from me, my own family. But understand that nothing's going to stop me from doing or telling the truth. I don't care how frightening it is, how intense it is. The job of a reader, the messenger from the gods, we are supposed to give you what they tell us. And we don't qualify the reading. We don't modify. We don't say, I don't want to read that. I don't want to say that. That's not your position. Your position is to deliver the message. Don't take the gravity of the message because you may feel uncomfortable about it. See, that is the shadow, because stuff within that person is still not resolved, and maybe those messages can trigger that in a card reader. So I had to do this series on the shadow because I see it all the time, and that can misdirect the reading that you that you like to do. And I'm talking to you tarot card readers. Allow spirit to move you and talk to you. Many people don't like that. They get frightened by that. But if that's the case, then you shouldn't be a card reader. You shouldn't be doing tarot, because there's no way that you're going to tell the truth, but they're not going to allow you to see your own truth. We begin with Aries. Now, 4 cards came out. We have here Kamun. This means resourcefulness. Aries. So what's the shadow of that? Because being resourceful is good. And Aries is a sign that is very generous, very giving. The shadow aspect of Aries, when it comes to this, is not about putting a stop to that generosity, that goodness. Aries never loses that. But the shadow of Aries is that of detachment and of dismissiveness. These are some of the shadows of Aries. And of course, there's no problem with anger. It's an emotion, we need it. It's how you use your anger that creates the shadow. Right? Aries. The god here, Komunsu. Aries. I've always discussed this. Aries is a very spiritual sign. People sleep on Aries when it comes to that. And they do it with Capricorn, because Capricorn gives the impression and the illusion that it's all concerned about money. And that may be true. But when Capricorn gets all the money and all the fame and all the success and everything that he or she wants, what's left? What's left to aim and strive for? So this is the same situation with Aries. Aries, you probably see for me, because I'm all Aryan. All Aries. My moon is in Aries, Saturn is in Aries, my North Node is in Aries, and I have a lot of Aries. And I believe in straightforwardness, even if it hurts you. Otherwise, why calling me for? So I could be very intense and appear insensitive. And that's one of the shadows of Aries. If I don't tame that and put that under control, it can overtake the personality and the way they talk to you, the tone, the mood, or I could be short with somebody, say, okay, goodbye, click, and the person is still in need. It's a level of dismissiveness, and that is one of the most uncomfortable aspects of Aries, that's represented here by the shadow. You have great knowledge, Aries, but you choose not to discuss it. You choose not to share it. This also can give rise to the shadow, because that's what you're supposed to do. And if you don't do it for whatever distraction you're allowing yourself to experience, that's going to also increase the shadow, Aries. Then the next god, the bull god, is the Tariret, because I'm pronouncing it in the old Latin pronunciation. And it means Genesis. So they just confirm what I was talking about. You are the progenitor. You create things. The Genesis always begins with you. But you want to have to do it. And sometimes, for whatever motivation that you have, you pull and you don't. Not because you don't want to give it, because you're never going to stop that kind of energy, Aries. But you won't give it to the person that may need it. You may dismiss for whatever reason, and that you have to tame that. Be very careful about that, Aries. Look, so this is the god of Susat, and it means wisdom. The wisdom. You have the wisdom. You have everything that can really elevate and advance humanity. But if you go into a space where you refuse to give it and become dismissive for whatever reason, that, don't go overboard doing that, because then that's going to give rise to the shadow. Ooh, that was a lot. I need more fat in my diet. Oh, I could eat a pork shoulder with the fat and all that. And some nice Puerto Rican pernil or Dominican. Oh, what? You'll see the glow in my face in no time. But there's nothing like that here in Maryland. And you have to go far, you need a car. Taurus, your shadow. What is the shadow of Taurus that they need to work on? And the universe is telling me selfishness. Selfishness is definitely can give rise to the shadow. Because being selfish is not bad in itself. Sometimes we have to be selfish, but you have to know the limit of how much of selfish you can be. You don't have to give of yourself all the time to everybody. You can withhold. Remember, the opposite of Taurus is Scorpio, which is a very solitary, private sign. That's going to be reflected in Taurus. So I don't think selfishness in itself is negative if you know how to use it properly. When you don't, and you become selfish for no reason, and don't help those around you, because Taurus is the sign of money, and a lot of it, along with Cancer, which is why the moon is exalted in Cancer. Well, I'm sorry, the moon rules Cancer. It's exalted in Taurus, because both signs are very concerned about money and prosperity, as you should. The problem becomes when there's greed, and greed is if this is selfishness, which is normal, then greed expands it. Now you want more than you need. This is greed. That is where we get the word greed. Right? So that's one of the shadows of Taurus. And that can go overboard. When you become selfish, you don't give your money, you don't give up your money, and the universe blesses you with a lot of money, not for you to sit on it, but to use it to help advance those around you. And there's a degree of not wanting to do that, because there's always a fear of not having enough. That in itself can give rise to the shadow, because not having enough is not bad. It can prepare you to get enough. But when it's not taken in that spirit, it becomes the shadow, or you don't have enough, you don't have enough. So now you're going to deal with business and people and do it in an unhealthy, dishonest way. And if it gets to that point, you're giving rise to the shadow for Taurus. Gluttony is another aspect of the shadow. Gluttony, and that is where we get certain words that describes fat people. Or people use politically correct terms like heavyset, heavyweight, plum. No, you're fat. And this is not to hurt you or offend you, but you're fat. And being fat is dangerous to the body, the heart, the salt in the body, the kidneys. You can't have too much fat. It ain't about, he has too much heavy fat. He's a little plump. But that's not going to cause renal failures. That's not going to cause a heart attack, because it's too much of the wrong cholesterol. So, but this is also another aspect of greed. Where you eat, and sometimes just for the sake of eating. And eating is not a commodity. It may appear that way, it might taste like it is, but it's not a commodity. You need to eat so you can survive. Look at me and all my vitamins I just showed you. And if I don't take it, I can go into serious trouble. Where the stomach begins to close because I'm losing too much weight. And when that starts to happen, there ain't no one going to save you. You're going to die. This is how bulimics and anorexics die. The stomach closes because there's no food and nutrient. It's not that much different with malnutrition if it goes too far. See? There really isn't anything negative about how we live our lives. It's just the fact that we do too much of it and too little. It's always about a balance. And Taurus, you can be a selfish bitch or motherfucker. You can be a bully and push your own intelligence and dismiss those of others. That's the Scorpio element in you, Taurus. Because Scorpio doesn't give a shit about what you know and what you don't know. And if you're not important to their lives, they don't even see you. You got to be some man or some woman to deal with that Scorpio energy in a person. Okay. No, I am turning it off. Do not relight the cigarette. Sometimes the cigarette by itself relights, and it's them. What I want to pull, it could be babies. Another shadow of Taurus is that they could rely on their own thinking, their own philosophy, and then dismiss or tear down those of others. Silence is another potential for the rising of the shadow, where you're too silent and too distant, and that in itself can change anything and everything, including you. Taurus. Watch your shadow. Be very giving, be very generous. Not to anyone personally, but maybe to a hospital, to a homeless shelter. Allow the money to be effective that can empower other people, not just you or your inner circle. Gemini. No gods were presented for you, Taurus, not in this read. Gemini. You saw me turn off the cigarette. You saw me do it. Look. You see how it is? It's bang, I crushed it. And look, it restarted. Those are the entities. I showed that to you that this is no bullshit and no make-believe. There are entities here that are giving the message. See, and I like to provide that kind of proof. I'm a Virgo. I'm Earth. Now I'm going to provide you with the truth. And that's what has people, going stupid. Gemini. Your shadow, and there's a lot of shadow elements here, Gemini. One of the shadows of Gemini is that they love to argue. They like to oppose points. Even if they know that that person is right, they will attack that person and put them in a situation where they have to defend themselves from you, Gemini. I see if you're in a debate, like a school debate or a professional setting where that energy is required, but you don't bring that to your personal space, to people around you. If you do that, you're giving rise to the shadow, okay? And people are going to hate you, move away from you, or you are going to feel that way about them. Another shadow of Gemini is jealousy. Jealousy belongs to Gemini, and so does envy. These are powerful emotions and very, very dangerous. You let that go out of control, and you could become a real demonic spellcaster with the cruelty of your words. If you find yourself being provoked to that position, you're giving rise to the shadow. And you're going to have to find another way to communicate your feelings, your passion, but not by tearing others. Because your truth, Gemini, is not your only truth. Truth is relative. Just because you have a truth, that doesn't mean that it's somebody else's truth. They might agree or disagree with you. And that might cause a breach in your own pride. And that can give rise to the shadow as well, Gemini. They want me to select one god for you, Gemini. How to fix the shadow. It's not fixed because there is no fixing. It's modifying and keeping under control. And it's not suppression either. Suppression is not going to take care of the problem. I got to be very clear with Gemini. Oh my. This is beautiful. This is why I love Geminis. You are walking with the goddess Isis. the giver of intelligence and wisdom, along with Horus, her brother. This is beautiful, Gemini. Take control of your shadow, okay? Banana. Because it's draining energy. And I don't want to stop the read because I feel drained. I brought some food just to eat. I'm going to have to eat it in front of you. Because this is where it pulls. It's sweet. Cancer. You represent the moon. The light of the moon. But you also represent the dark moon. And Cancer is one of the most dangerous signs in the zodiac. There are more homicides and murders under Cancer than any other sign. You would think Scorpio, but it's not. It's Cancer. And Cancer can hold a grudge. And can hold a grudge to such a degree that it actually becomes toxic and dangerous to those around her or him. The men, Cancers have more control of this than the women. The moon is important. The emotional intelligence, very important to Cancer. She could be a smart, intellectual woman, but she won't use those faculties because the moon gets her there that much faster. The shadow aspect of this position is that you overinflate the situation. You take your emotions as truth, and they might very well be truth, but it won't be somebody else's truth. The same thing with Gemini. And you will feel that you are right. So, Gemini, the difference is that if you have to go and get a gun and shoot the motherfucker, or take a bat and bludgeon the woman to death if you're a guy, because of your feelings, if someone's cheating on you, you think it's true. You feel that there's something not quite right, but you don't have the actual answers of whether someone is cheating on you or not. You will go with these feelings, it will fester, and God forbid there could be a tragedy. It happens all the time. And this is one of the shadow aspects of Cancer. Cancer can also be very clannish. It's about family and nobody else. Family and friends, close friends, not too much. And you don't move from that space. So you trust nobody, especially those that maybe you should. Because there's a need to protect the clan. And also fight for the clan and also manipulate and abuse your own clan if it gets too out of control. Cancer. Leo. Let me take another bite. Because if I leave it there too long, the ants will come. I'm right in the deep woods. There's woods, trees all over. But I like to like that I'm earth and I like nature all around me. I don't kill the ants. I don't. I won't kill roaches, but I don't got too many here. If I do, it's spiritual. So then I have to approach the problem in another way. Leo, your shadow is pride. Why pride? Pride is a sense of overinflated solar plexus. The ego, solar plexus, and how you see yourself, how you feel about yourself. It can be so consuming that you don't see other people's star quality. We all have Leo in our birth charts. Leo, the shadow is that you will not acknowledge others and their star qualities because it's a threat to you. I'm the sun. I'm the king. No one should know more than the king or the queen. And this can make the Leo person quite bombastic, arrogant, intolerable, stubborn, worse. I don't know which one is worse, Taurus or Leo. Very stubborn, but stubborn to their own detriment and those of others. No, this is the only shadow that's attributed to Leo, and there's no God but other than Amun-Ra, which is the solar sun, especially in the Egyptian epoch. And many of you still carry that energy from a age and time long ago and long gone. But the gods, they're still alive. They're still there. And if you call them, they'll come. They are as alive and well as the current Christ consciousness that we pray to today. Just so you know. Leo, Virgo. Virgo. You know, Virgo can be quite demonic in their actions. Heinous! It is the Virgin, one of the most beautiful constellations in the sky. And Virgo is very ancient. There was a time when there was only 6 signs of the zodiac, and Virgo was one of them. So there's a lot here with Virgo. Your thoughts, if they're not tempered by your emotions, which is supposed to be a point of balance, because Virgo is number 6, which is 3 and 3. It's half of the wheel. It's in Virgo where human development reaches its peak. There's no more that has to be learned about who you are. You should know who you are by the time you reach Virgo. Because Libra has no concern about you, but about the other partner. And that makes sense. Once you know yourself completely, now you can go into a personal or interpersonal relationship with another human being that has the same values and ethos that you do. Because you have them. So you're going to attract that. But if it's fucked up in some way, you will attract really toxic lovers. The same with Libra when we get to her. Or him. Virgo, you have to talk about your complex emotions and feelings. Like Gemini, both of you are under Mercury, the planet of communication. It's all about communication. Because if you don't, and you become a hermit and go silent and distant, either physically or emotionally, that can be overdone, Virgo, and that will give rise to the shadow. Okay? We need a few minutes. Wow, let's do a few minutes. And then go to Libra. I'm going to leave the screen open. It's so sweet that it's making my teeth sensitive, especially those that are growing. I'm so comfortable. I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. That's how I feel half the time. Now I can be comfortable and not move from that comfortability. I'm a Virgo, but my decan is Taurus. Let me look at some of you. Try my best to see. Okay. Ashley King, ML. Thank you for being here. ML. Cassandra, Intuitive Tarot. How are you? Welcome. Liquid Fast, Divine Lioness. Jessica T, Divine, who's this? Bathroom Man. Okay. What's the other one? Kinda? Divine? Yes. Robust, absolutely. Sean READE. Mars. These are your names, and I have to know them. If you donate under these names, at least I will know who you are. Let's see. Who else? I'm squinting now. Scorpio. Right Mind. Welcome. Okay, I will do the rest of you guys. Thank you for coming on a Sunday. I know many of you got to get ready to go to work. But what's happening is that Spirit is moving me to do it at night. And there might be somebody that watches frequently at night. And I need to hear the message. You know? A second. There we go. I hope you are enjoying the read. It is an occult reading under the guise of collective reading. You know, Libra, what is your shadow? Libra, your shadow is that because you're excellent, there's no other sign in the zodiac that can top you. You're an excellent arbitrator. It's almost like being a psychologist, Libra. You don't need no psychology degree. You are the foundation in which psychologists are taught in schools and universities. Your intellectual acumen, like Virgo, is quite amazing. And now this is falling apart. Sometimes that happens spiritually. Let me put it here. You are brilliant. Like Gemini, your fellow sister, air sign, or brother. The problem is that you can be so in the need to be right that you won't look at other aspects of communication that are just as important as the intellectual. And when it comes to the emotions, you don't want to be bothered by it. No. Like I said in my other videos of Libra, it's not that you are not emotional, because you are, man or woman. You just don't care about other people's feelings and emotions. Especially if it's connected to something logical, pragmatic, that require the inclusion of the emotions. But you don't do that, Libra. And there are many Libras that know how to do this and keep a perfect balance. But there are many that don't. And this type of dismissiveness, like that of Leo, can hurt people. They will feel, on the end of the vitamin D, they don't feel that you value their opinion, that you respect the emotional feel bad, because words are not just empty words. They have a weight of emotion to them. But Libra, you dismiss that. You're only concerned with the facts. But the facts are not linear. It's interwoven with other factors that are just as equally important, Libra. When this is not done for yourself and others, that gives rise to the shadow. Understand that, Libra. And you got to keep the balance. And your conclusion, whatever it is intellectually, has to have into account the emotional envelope in which it is wrapped in, Libra. What is the God for you? They want one card for you, Libra. It's what they want, not what I want. I know I did 4 or 5 for a few, and one, but it's not necessary. Sometimes to do that, but I don't know what that reason is. It's not necessary. Wow, Libra, you have Ra, the highest of all the gods. And it says, enlightenment. You're here to bring enlightenment to a situation or a person without judging and tampering their feelings, even their feelings of not accepting your truth. You have to be at peace with that. And you don't mistreat them because they don't think like you. Because or be dismissive, like Mr. and Mrs. Leo. So be very careful that before you make a deliberation of judgment, that you consider the emotional feel better of that judgment. So the truth can be hurtful, harmful even. It's how you say it, Libra. This is your shadow. But you have Ra. That is that's the best in this key. And you have it, Libra. But don't forget that there are other people that have Libra in their charts. And where you excel as a Sun Libra, others excel in part, depending on where Libra is in the chart. Right? So there you can meet someone just as convicted as you. Scorpio. They don't want me to use this at all. Scorpio, you're fine. You know how to control your shadow. And if you let it go out of control, it's your choice. This is what the message I have for you, Scorpio. Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Your shadow could be that as friendly as you are and very giving as you are, you can also be an interloper, a meddler. And like Gemini, you can be argumentative just for the sake of wearing down the person that you are competing with, because it is a form of competition. If it's not brought under control, it can cause powerful crises in your own life, Sag. and take you away from the jolly-go-lucky, happy, or bouncing Don Juan energy that is so naturally yours. It can make you bitter and resentful. Now, I haven't met many Sagittarius that exude this. But then again, the shadow is a very personal thing. People don't run out to show their shadow. Most of them don't even know they have it. Right? This is why this video is being done. That can create enemies, Sag. And you will not even know it. You will not even know it. The god Netutum. This is the god that deals with completeness. It's in the reverse. So your shadow aspect also is that you may start something and not finish it, and have pockets of interest and stuff that have not reached their conclusion that needs to be, in order for you to use it to help those that you come into contact with. Sagittarius. Capricorn. Capricorn is the devil. I don't need to go further with that. And there's nothing good or positive about the devil. And you know what your shadow is. You know the potential of darkness that you can possess for yourself or against others. Another shadow, Capricorn, is abuse of power. Abuse of those who don't have the same level of exposure, openness, intelligence, background as you do. And you might treat them like servants, treat them like peasants. And it comes through in the language. If someone is not astute to you, they will oversee the fact that you might be belittling them right in their face and they don't even know it. Because you formulated an opinion of them that will be deemed worthy or worthless concerning your time with these people, Capricorn. Don't overdo that. But it's hard to tell you not to, because you will anyway. You're the devil. But just be very careful, Capricorn. Have a little compassion with you. I know you have. The opposite polarity of Capricorn is Cancer. So it is in you. You just want to have to use that as a compassion. And I know many Capricorns that do. But it is a shadow aspect of Capricorn. Capricorn, they want me to draw 3 cards for you, 3 gods. Amuket. And this is hope. Here it is. But it makes sense, Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign of depression. When you don't have no hope, you have depression. And that's one of your shadow aspects here. Oh, what did I say? Darkness. This is Apophis, the god Apophis. So these are pitfalls, Capricorn. One more. This is the Eye of Horus, what I have on. The third one is, you are so intelligent. You can't be the devil and be stupid. Look at that, intelligence. You got the intelligence, but it's in the reverse. So sometimes you use it against people by becoming condescending and judgmental, which is very Capricorn, especially if they're not in the status that they're supposed to be. They have no business being near you because you have a high status. But don't use that to hurt in the street and belittle people, which is something very, very typical of the Capricorn shadow. All righty, Cappy. Aquarius. The shadow of Aquarius has more to do with Aquarius than how he affects people. Because, Aquarians love people, put others before themselves. But it's not a weakness because they know who they are. When you reach the 11th sign, there should be no shadow. And there is no shadow with Aquarius. Because he's too intelligent not to know. That intelligence is peaked in Capricorn. In Aquarius, it's like, oh, yeah, I know it. And you don't have to endorse it. And you have your own. So there's no shadow here that I can show you, Aquarius. You're doing everything right, even in the timing that you have to. Pisces is another sign that is all-embracing, all-encompassing. And it has and expresses the shadow of other people. Because if you are not in touch with your shadow, the Pisces man and the Pisces woman, but especially the Pisces woman, she'll pick up on it. And then she will embody the shadow that you're trying to hide. So be careful with Pisces. You can't lie to them like Scorpio. They see if you have worked on yourself or not. And they will treat you accordingly. There is no shadow here to speak of for Pisces or Aquarius. At that level, there should be no shadow. Guys, please donate. Please give. You know the drill. And if you like these series, you want me to do a couple more, you know what to do. The 62.7 thousand of you. $1 each is $62,000. So think about that, right? And it helps. I will say, guys, thank you.